Good morning, everybody. Well, I've got some good news and I've got some good news. The good news is the Modern Electric will be releasing their latest single, David Bowie, Save Us All, this Saturday, December 20th at exactly midnight. Exclusively available on MySpace. The thing that sets this apart from previous releases is that it will only be available for 24 hours. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who releases a song for just 24 hours? This is Bullocks. Well, this golden cloud has a silver lining. On their MySpace, it'll be available for download, so you can retain a copy of the song. They strongly encourage you to commit massive piracy violations by burning multiple copies and giving them to your friends and family as Christmas gifts. So when news of this release leaked to the media, it caught the attention of one particular gentleman. That gentleman was glam rock icon David Bowie. He was kind enough to invite me to his celestial castle on the outer rings of the Milky Way for this interview, so he could give his 2 cents about this unusual release. So David, thanks for talking with me today. Now this is quite an unusual strategy, releasing a song for just 24 hours. As a musician, how do you think they came up with this idea?
It's sort of a what-if kind of situation. It's like there's a lot of play involved with what we do.
So, on a personal level, how does this 24-hour experiment affect the way that you'll release music in the future?
It makes things a lot clearer. Unfortunately for me, I see it without a sense of unease, and for me, knowing that I've got a finite length of time actually clarifies things and makes me feel quite buoyant.
Now, what about the people who miss out on this opportunity? I mean, isn't it kind of unfair to release a song for just 24 hours? One day?
The filthy lesson in question is the fact that life is finite. That realization, when it comes usually later in life, can either be really a daunting prospect.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the members of the Modern Electric. I understand that you had the opportunity to meet them. Tell me a little bit about the lead vocalist, Garrett Kumiati.
He can look at something and gauge its import. He can examine a piece of music and find its real strengths.
How about the drummer, Mike O'Brien?
Um,
And what about Brian Leckie, the lead guitarist?
What Brian brings to a situation is a very sophisticated sense of analysis.
And how about bassist Matthew Childers?
A small, mobile, highly intelligent unit in a tweed jacket.
So, you chose these 4 guys to write a song about your career.
I purposely chose musicians who would feel at ease in a kind of a slightly humorous situation.
So let's talk about the song itself, David Bowie, Save Us All. After hearing it, what do you think is the message being relayed?
The song itself, because it's made up of juxtapositions and fragments of information, doesn't have a straightforward, coherent message to it. In fact, none of the album has any message. It's really a compression of information. It's just information. Make of it what you will.
Being just an album of compressed information, what should keep someone from downloading this free track and then totally forget about your forthcoming album? I mean, what is the value of these songs collectively?
For me, they kind of work together so well, those particular pieces. There's sort of somehow kind of a thread that makes sense through it all.
So, what about the prospect of collaborating with the Modern Electric?
Needless to say, I'm really, really excited about the idea.
Have you thought about perhaps touring with them?
I haven't toured since 1990, so I guess it's a big deal for me.
Listen, David, I want a straightforward answer. Have you made specific plans for the Modern Electric and David Bowie to work together? I mean, have you talked to Garrett?
So far, talking with him, I think he seems very focused and seems to have not dissimilar idea of what it is he wants from his music. As myself, I think we should be able to collaborate quite well. I think what's going to be nice is working together on stage, and we're going to do some songs together, some of his and some of mine. which I think really is going to be very exciting.
David, I really appreciate you agreeing to this interview. In closing, how would you sum up the Modern Electric? I mean, who are these guys really? Are they...
So the very loose storyline was a group of young artists creating a Minotaur out of cast human parts and a bull's head.